got to the point where I'd be working 30 hours a week to make sure a particular brand of shampoo was getting top of mind perspectives on the ground. And for a couple percentage points, you know, it was make or break of everybody's lives. It was the very first fundraising position that was at Down Syndrome Ireland. It was very much a parent-to-parent organization, and they wanted to bring it up to the next level. I was doing the HB Ice Cream Sundays in aid of Down Syndrome Ireland. It was the first year. One of the dads got up in the back of the room and said, "If I sell your ice cream, will my 7-year-old get speech therapy?" And I said, "Absolutely. 10 years from now, we're going to have the center of excellence. We're going to have the best speech therapists, every child with Down syndrome." And he cut me off and he says, "10 years is too late for my 7-year-old.
How I would express it is the people who are supposed to care about us the most didn't give a damn. It didn't matter how many letters I wrote, how many phone calls I made. It didn't matter at all.
I started thinking, if we did groups and the parents were in it together and the children were in it and the speech therapist was providing the therapy to the children, but the parents were benefiting from watching the speech therapist and interacting with the speech therapist.
We were more or less told to expect him to be in nappies for the rest of his life.
And then adding on insurance and legal and you know, all the other bits and pieces. So I needed to come up with a break-even point financially, and that the parents would still be able to afford.
We have an older daughter and she would get upset nearly looking at him. She was younger at the time as well, because she'd be trying to help out as well. And it just led to a lot of frustration.
And I saw that it was an actual business model, like it could happen. You could do it if it was done efficiently.
C-U-N-C, spider climbed up the water spout.
We used to say to each other, I wonder what he sounds like. Because literally, until maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, he hadn't spoken a word. He would make sounds, yeah, fair enough, especially if he wanted something. But like to actually hear him say a word and hear what your child sounds like, that was just magical. And now he's quite a few words and he uses law of signs a lot to communicate. And that was just one amazing thing for us, was to hear his voice.
C-U-N-C, spider climbed up the spout again.
I'm not a do-gooder. I'm not, you know, I don't think I'm better than a charity. I don't think I'm better than a business. I'm here because I have an answer to a major social problem.
Now he can pass the message on to us. He needs to go to the bathroom. And like that's a huge, people won't really understand what a huge achievement that was for Dara. To go from thinking you're going to be changing his nappies till he's 20, for him to be able to independently go to the toilet. It sounds silly, but it was that communication obviously played a huge part in that. That's just one example.
Because that man said that to me, I worked with over 420 kids, provided over 5,000 hours of therapy. We have 15 nonverbal kids, they're speaking. I have 9 kids that were in special needs schools. They have transitioned into mainstream. We have 6 currently transitioning. Like, those kids would have had nothing. Like, those families would still have a nonverbal child.
We have a road to go on with him now. We have a set road. We have hopes for him. We can see his potential, that none of which was there before. It just is like a weight lifted off your shoulders, because the potential that Dara has now compared to before he went to release, there is such a huge difference.
Get them the services now, get them the intervention that they need so that they can go mainstream, so that they can get involved in society, so that they can integrate into society and become part of society, as opposed to a drain on the exchequer at the end of the day. Give these people hope, give these people the rights that they are entitled to under the Constitution and under the Disability Act of 2005 and the Epson Act of 2005. It's time.